What a burger!
You are listening to the Longhorn Podcast. To the Longhorn Podcast.
End zone ahead, folks. Touchdown, Longhorns.
With Danny. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. And Marcus. Does somebody know the number for Pluckers? Released once a week, every Tuesday. Much better than all those other Longhorn podcasts. You are listening to the Longhorn Podcast. To the Longhorn Podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Longhorn Podcast, the greatest Longhorn podcast on the face of the planet. I'm here with my co-host Marcus. Marcus, what are we going to be talking about today?
That's a great question, Danny. Hey everybody. We're going to be going through some commits today. We're going to be looking at recruiting both at the UT football program as well as UT basketball with some big news, big signing for Shaka Smarts. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about early rankings coming out for next season and whether or not Texas is in the top 25. So, listen.
And if we are, do we deserve to be in the top 25?
And should we be in the top 25? And we're also going to take a look at a player who is essentially, he's the Big Lebowski of high school football. He's the Saving Private Ryan of high school football. So we'll get into what that means here in a bit.
Mm-hmm. So just off the top, Marcus, I just want to start with that Dallas Cowboys game last night. I know it's not Longhorn related, but it is Texas football related.
Yep.
I want to hate Aaron Rodgers, but I don't hate Aaron Rodgers. I think he's just good at what he does.
He's incredible. He's unbelievable. That game, it really burned. It's probably Tony Romo's last game in a Cowboys uniform. My guess is he's going to try and get released. And potentially Jerry Jones might try to trade him. I think he has another year left on his contract. So we'll see what happens. But heartbreaking game for the Cowboys, but so good and such a great example of what the playoff football should be. But you're right. You can't be mad that Aaron Rodgers just sees the Matrix and can execute like that. That pass to Jared Cook on the sideline. Which it was a great, also his receivers had some fantastic plays too. But yeah, what a game.
While watching the game, Marcus, I became interested in Aaron Rodgers' personal life. And apparently, according to the New York Times, Aaron Rodgers connects with his hometown, but the family huddle is broken. And some people say that it might be Olivia Munn. Now, I hadn't seen Olivia Munn in some time, and I Googled her for a while. And I have to say, if Olivia Munn is what... if my family was destroyed by Olivia Munn, I would be okay with that. If I was as talented as Aaron Rodgers and looked as good as him in a tuxedo, and I was married to Olivia Munn, I would be fine with that. Would you?
Listen. By the way, my fiance said yes, so that's some great news. Olivia Munn. Really, she's all right, I guess. If you're into that kind of thing, sure, okay, yeah, I could see it. The big rumor, and you got to really do your research on this one, Danny. The big rumor is that Aaron Rodgers is gay, and that Olivia Munn is actually. I hadn't heard this. My girlfriend has brought it up to me twice. She's like, Aaron Rodgers is gay. I'm like, Aaron Rodgers is not gay. And
Aaron Rodgers is a stallion. He is a stallion. He is not gay. Aaron Rodgers is a man's man.
Right. But there's some listen, I won't get too far, but there's some kind of weird public statements and facts that you could argue support this rumor. And then Olivia Munn is his beard and is somehow getting more famous by dating Aaron Rodgers, which I kind of push back on that part because I'm Olivia Munn's pretty famous. She's a pretty well-known and successful actress. So I don't really know if she needs Aaron Rodgers to boost her career. But
Olivia Munn is so famous.
She's famous. Yeah, she's super famous. So
she's super famous. I don't think that she needs... Also, she's super hot and famous. Couldn't she just date another very famous guy? Like why would they have to have this arrangement with Aaron Rodgers? Like,
I mean, maybe she's like asexual, and it's just like a mutually beneficial arrangement that they. I don't know. I'm speculating, but there is a plausible answer to that question, Danny. So, we never traffic in unfounded rumors, whether it's about Nick Saban kidnapping Thai women and bringing them in shipping containers, or the sexuality of Aaron Rodgers. That's not something that we want to comment on the podcast. To respect those people's right to privacy, but
But we do want to let people know that it's true.
It could be true and treated as such until told otherwise. That's kind of how.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Marcus from the Longhorn Podcast is saying, without a doubt, Aaron Rodgers, homosexual, and he is there to help out Olivia Munn's career. Let's move on. I want to talk about basketball right now. Marcus, I'm unhappy with the Longhorn basketball team right now. Do you know why?
Tell me why.
They suck. They're not winning games. They're 7-10. They just lost to West Virginia. You know how I feel about West Virginia.
It was
unhappy about it.
It was close. But that's sort of the season. Yeah. That's their season, though. It's like close. It's like, if this rebound comes down, or if they don't make this turnover, or this one shot goes, or whatever it is, one errant pass, and they would have won, and they'd have a winning record right now. But
okay, Marcus. So right now it's time for one of my favorite segments. Do we hate? Now you know the rules, Marcus. Can you explain them to the audience?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Basically, we take a look at a player, a recruit. Could really be anybody though, and kind of dive into: do we hate this guy? Is this guy a schmuck? And it's
do we hate
him? Do we hate this guy? I mean, it's really pretty self-explanatory segment.
Yes. So today it's Matt Coleman. Duke wanted him, but Texas needs a point guard more. And Shaka Smart, despite the fact that he's got a 7-10 record right now, took him away from Duke. This guy has got he's got a 4-star rating. He played for the United States team. And let's go into his Twitter really quick. Let's check out some stuff right here.
Do you think that's the first thing Shaka Smart said? He was just like, "But we need him more. We need him more."
I think that's what he did say. I think that UT is a point right now where we can get away with just saying that.
I think it's pretty cool. I mean, maybe Grayson Allen. Maybe I don't know if Grayson Allen's going to stick around or something. It's pretty cool that we were able to snag that caliber of a player from Duke. I mean, that's a big win for the program.
It is a big win, probably because Shaka was like, "You're going to be playing day one, starting.
Yeah, we need you."
And at Duke, I imagine really you'd have to wait.
Yeah. So all right, I'm on this guy's Twitter page too. What do we got here?
So top of it, we've got topic of discussion since '98.
Right, which brings us. So he's the Saving Private Ryan of high school basketball. Because I think people still talk about that movie.
They do, and I love that movie.
A lot of good flicks in '98. Like '97 kind of is, I think, the best. It might be like the best year of films I mean, '97, you're looking at Titanic, Starship Troopers, Men in Black, L.A. Confidential, Good Will Hunting, Boogie Nights, Jackie Brown, Face Off, Austin Powers, Home Alone 3, Powerhouse, Murderers Row.
I've heard of Starship Troopers. The rest, I'm not a film guy.
Not a big
Marcus.
film guy.
Not a big film guy. Do love Starship Troopers. And what 98 was Saving Private Ryan? What was that?
98 had some hits too. Saving Private Ryan, Armageddon, The Truman Show, There's Something About Mary, Mulan, Big Lebowski. Big Lebowski is probably my favorite movie out of that year. But
ooh, that is a fantastic year. It's got the big hit.
There's a lot of
Mark Wahlberg.
Small comedies too, like The Wedding Singer, The Water Boy.
Ooh.
American
History X, The Thin Red Line.
It was like a real...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a real moment. Blade
Rushmore.
came out in '98. Wild
Rushmore,
Things. Do you
Babe.
remember watching Wild Things when you were like 11? Good.
Oh yeah, dude,
God.
Lethal Weapon 4, Ronin, fantastic film, Ronin.
Rushmore.
Yeah, Rushmore. The Faculty. Ooh,
I actually have a soft spot for The Faculty. Maybe they had like a pretty good soundtrack. It was like, I think it was a movie that kind of overachieved on its concept.
What is The Faculty about again?
It's about, as I remember it, it's about a bunch of I look at the Rotten Tomatoes. The critics' consensus is just rip off of other sci-fi thrillers.
Okay.
But it's like a bunch of high schoolers, and I think their whole, like, all of the staff, like all the teachers, go fucking crazy and like try and murder everybody, and it's sort of like the adults have lost it, and the kids have to save the day. And it was like Josh Hartnett was sort of, Elijah Woods was in this. Like, it had some sort of young teen talent at the time.
Dude, well, to go on with the teen vibe, Can't Hardly Wait.
Right.
Can't Hardly Wait was 1998. I love that movie.
I think Freddie Prinze is somebody I would hang out with today.
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah.
I love Freddie Prinze.
He was the guy,
not
right? He's not in Camp. Was that not him?
No, he's not in Can't Hardly Wait. That's Ethan Embry is in Can't Hardly Wait. For our younger fans.
Can't Hardly Wait.
Can't Hardly Wait was that very original movie about everyone wanting to get laid the last night of high school.
Well, no, like, everybody wanted to have sex with what's her name? Jennifer. Well, God, what was her name? She's the girl.
She's the girl.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
It was about every person in the high school wanted to have sex with Jennifer Love Hewitt and Lauren Ambrose.
It's about a bunch of
and one guy.
It's about a bunch of 29. Yeah, it's about a bunch of 29-year-old actors that want to have sex
right.
with Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yep.
Because the party, Can't Hardly Wait. I like that movie, but it also makes me really angry because that made me think that that's what high school parties were going to be like. And no party I've been to parties everywhere. Nothing has ever been that awesome. Jennifer Love Hewitt was never there. Less dancing, just not as much fun.
Yeah, no, a lot less like sort of wacky hijinks. I mean, there was some, but yeah, no.
Do you know what I thought about partying when I was younger? I used to think that from movies, you know how in an 80s movie, like in Caddyshack or something, and they say, let's have a party, and everyone starts like waving their arms around. You know that? You know
right.
that thing? You know what I'm talking about? They'll be like,
yeah.
And I thought that partying was an action verb, like running, walking. I thought that it was a thing that you would just go, let's party, and everyone would just start like punching the air and stuff, and then automatically there's a pizza and a record player going around.
Yeah, I mean,
a hungover foreign exchange student.
It's like I kind of thought a lot of parades were going to be like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Not the case. That's not how parades actually are. They're a lot drier.
Well, you've never been to Grapevine, Texas's grape days.
No,
because
I haven't.
at Grape Days, yeah, there's some dancing. There's a Ferrari. I want to get back to Matt Coleman really quick because I'm looking at his Twitter page. And
by the way, I ran the numbers. Matt Coleman, I'm pretty sure, born in 1998. Just in case you were not feeling like an old piece of shit today, this kid was born in 98, and apparently was a topic of discussion from day one. It sounds like
he was a topic of discussion. Everyone was like, "Hey, have you seen What Dreams May Come?" And did you know Matt Coleman has been shot out? One thing that is disturbing to me in this segment, I'm looking at his Twitter page. It says, he says, there's a photo of him and it says, Longhorn Nation, the wait is over. Hook 'em, baby. Now, I like that enthusiasm. But he's photoshopped himself wearing a Texas jersey into a bunch of celebrating
Right.
Texas fans.
Right. He's also the only black person in the entire picture, which seems like it just seems strange because if you're gonna Photoshop yourself in, like he could pick any picture. It does look pretty good. Like as Photoshop jobs go, this is not the typical Photoshop job we talk about, which is a lot of airbrushing and like a lot of embossed logos and stuff. Like it kind of looks like he's actually got his arm around this frat guy. Like at the Irwin Center, but yeah.
Matt Coleman, top of the line point guard,
Great
and
graphic
a
designer.
pretty damn good graphic designer.
I mean,
I'm gonna say impressed. I'm gonna say I think I know his major. I know his real calling in life.
well, the University of Texas doesn't just make great student athletes. They produce. A lot of these guys go on to do great things. Not Vince Young,
They
but
do.
But other graduates from UT do.
By the way, I think there was something about a court hearing in the news this week with Vince Young. I'm pretty sure there was
don't
related
remember
to his
that.
2004. I think there was another. There might have been another DUI.
No, say it ain't so.
I had a conversation 2 days ago with a guy that was on like a Southwest flight from. He's in college trying to take a really cheap Southwest flight back to Austin, and he's in the very back row, and he's sitting next to Vince Young. Which at this point for me, Vince Young he's like Prince. Like everyone's got a story, and we can't really tell if it's true. But apparently Vince Young just talked about how he hated USC. And was apparently a very good conversationalist and asked a lot of questions. So,
Well, cool. I
Yep.
mean, I want to
Also,
have
the guys-
I want to have that story. Like whatever I hope that sometime in my future I'll have a Vince Young story. I can only be so lucky.
I know the kid also said that Vince Young pounded Jameson like the black the what's like the little black bottles of scotch. Johnny Walker.
Black Label. Yeah,
Yep.
Johnny Walker Black Label.
Yeah, he apparently was pounding Johnny Walker Black Label the entire flight, to the extent that when they landed, this kid, who is not socially awkward, said, "Hey, Vince, do you need me to drive you home?" And Vince said, "No, I'm a big guy."
But that's true. I mean, like that's true. He is a big guy. I mean, we don't know
Yeah,
what pounding.
he is.
Maybe. Listen, if I'm on a 4-hour flight, I don't know where he was going, but if I was on a 4-hour flight, it wouldn't be crazy for me to have 3 drinks. Like I'd be, maybe nursing a hangover or going somewhere to party and pump my fist in the air. But he's a big guy.
He said he had 7 mini bottles.
Okay, well,
So
that doesn't seem like they would
that's-
even serve him that many. There's got to be FAA laws around that. 6, 7. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I don't know. This is that unverified story that I've got, but that's why I love Vince Young. I want to get back to Matt Clifford's page. The last tweet I'm going to read is, "I got it good," and then there's a goat, like a goat emoji. Well, I gotta say I don't hate him. I like him.
Yeah, I don't hate this guy. I mean, because listen, we need him. We really need this guy. He chose us over Duke. I mean, I'd be lying if I didn't say some of these tweets aren't a little silly, like him holding a giant gold trophy that just says, "I'm a winner." It's like, wow, we get it. We get it.
He does make me feel worse about myself because he's such a good winner.
Yeah, like his success seems to come at my expense, which I'm not. I also, my favorite tweet's probably, and this is like he's really on the. I'm really on the fence with this one. He's got one. Key forever in my heart, key, and it's a picture of just some Gucci flip flops.
I have to find that.
I don't know. I mean,
Forever
that's
in
cool.
my
Like have your fun. Have your fun.
Where is he getting these Gucci slipper?
He's
Gucci
the
flip flops.
He's the small soldiers of football, man. He's been a topic since '98.
I'm. I do really like that tweet that just says I'm a winner.
I'm a winner. I'm a winner. And he looks like a winner. I mean, that's the thing. That's why I'm like, all right, well, he's wearing a Team USA jersey. He's got a huge gold trophy. It's like the Stanley Cup. And he's just like, he's got a big smile on. He says, I'm a winner. And it's like, well, that kid believes. So I believe.
Maybe
I
he's
like
kind
him.
of like.
We don't hate him.
Maybe he's kind of like Rain Man, and he's just some basketball savant that we're taking advantage of, and his speech skills aren't up to par, and he's just like, I'm a winner. Like, that's what he could say. That's maybe that's it.
No, I don't think that's it. I don't think that's what we're dealing with here.
No, we're doing. He just knows he's a winner. All
right, what do we got?
Okay, so definitely we do not hate him. The next person I want to talk about is Laurel Murchison. Now, he's received 3 offers. We're going back to football now. He's received offers from Houston.
Who is this? What
Ole
position
Miss,
does he play?
in Texas. He is a defensive tackle.
Okay.
He's a big boy. But he's only. Yeah, I judge a lot of these recruits on who's offered them. So if it's a 3-star, I don't care. But if like Alabama has offered him, then I'm like, okay, obviously the ranking's wrong, or whatever. He's only been offered by Ole Miss, Texas, and Houston, which is just going along with. I love that Tom Herman is just stripping Houston of its entire class and bringing them over to us. So this guy is in junior college. He's an Ole Miss recruit, but he came to visit Texas. We need some defensive tackles. He seems cool. Now, I went to his Twitter page, and there is a gigantic picture that just says "My Moment" at the top.
I mean, we were just talking about this though, like, because Danny, for those of you that don't know, has another podcast called The Tour Manager's Guide, which is about he interviews musicians and other music industry folks. And you were talking to like some teenager who's like got a bajillion followers on Instagram and like is all over, who just is of that generation. Like I was born in 1998. Yes. And I had a Facebook account when I was 8 years old, right?
Yeah.
And like,
yeah,
it's
or like
just
I'm 8 now.
Like, part of me is just like, maybe I'm just completely out of touch, right? Like maybe that's totally normal for these kids now, is to just put some shit like that on the internet. But
also, I think that, so it says "My Moment," right? All right, so it's a big photo, a black and white photo, and it's like the side of a man's face, and then it says in white across that "My Moment." So I think it's just a photo of him, and it says "My Moment." So I guess he wants to let us know.
Dude, I mean, it's a moment. It's a moment. It's not like if that's your moment, like singular, like this is your moment. That's, you got a long life ahead of you, dude.
It's a team game, Laurel, and I don't know if we love this attitude, but I'll tell you whose attitude I do absolutely love. Is Gary Johnson. He's the #1 junior college linebacker. He's going to make a visit to the Horns. He's been offered by everybody, 4 stars. And here's what I like about him, okay? If we go to his Twitter page, he's got his description. It says JUCO product. He's very proud of that. 4-star linebacker, fine, that's just a fact. #8 ESPN JUCO player, just a fact. He has his Snapchat, Big Play Johnson 1. I like that name. And then Savage mode. Cool. He's going to go Savage. And he received 0 Division I offers out of high school. And it just had a few junior college offers. And now he's the #1 junior college ranked linebacker. Everyone wants him. I like this story. I like this guy.
Yeah, I mean, 6'1", 225. It looks like, and he's getting, some more interest now. It sounds like, obviously, he's going with UT, but Arizona State, Oregon, making official visits to both in December. So it's cool. I mean, yeah, I'm in. I'm all in on this guy. Let's do it.
It says, I hate QBs and I hate running backs, because he's going to crush them.
Right. Well, iron sharpens iron. So let's get some good running backs and let sparks fly.
Exactly.
Speaking of, I want to talk about, we're always trying to stay on top of any scandal that might be brewing in the University of Texas
love
program.
scandals.
We love scandals here.
We do.
Love the drama. We love the drama. More on that later, too.
Drama boys. Wait, just more on us loving drama?
More on us loving drama later. We're going to get into something else. So we've got horny for Art Briles, okay? Our new coach, Casey Horny, is coming over from Baylor. He's an Art Briles truther.
Okay.
And
As in he thinks that Art Briles is he thinks Art Briles did nothing wrong.
he's been extremely outspoken in his support for Art Briles.
Okay.
Yeah, hashtag, what was it? Hashtag truth don't lie. Multiple truth don't lie. So tweets in support of Art Briles, hashtag truth don't lie. He horny for Art Briles. But and the administration's not commenting. No comment. Not interested. Don't want to have this conversation. They don't want the scandal. Well, you know what? The truth comes out, guys. All right. And now the Longhorn Podcast Army is on the case. So we'll be keeping everybody updated.
I mean, aren't they worried that more allegations are going to come out, that maybe this guy knew about stuff going on and that will bring us into this shit show up in Waco?
I mean, I don't know why nobody saw it coming that somebody like that a football coach named Casey Horny was involved in a sex scandal in any way, shape, or form. Like, shocked. I'm shocked.
I also love that Casey Horny's on the run right now.
Right, Casey.
Yeah, he's pulling a Lane Kiffin.
Last seen in Louisiana.
He had to get out of Dodge.
Yeah, he's got a one-way ticket to
Mr. Horny.
He's got a one-way ticket to Boca Raton. He's gonna shack up in Lane Kiffin's $3 million waterfront property and lay low for
room
a
on
bit.
the boat.
There's room.
Room on the boat.
You can sleep on the yacht, man. Go ahead.
That's what Lane said. If Obama's going to be gone, he's going to get some of that money back. The divorce with Layla is gonna cool down for a bit. And Mr. Horny, your presence is requested in Boca Raton.
Right, and no personal income tax in Florida. It's just smart. It's smart business.
No personal income tax. And so I think that, hey, Tom Herman, there's no way that this backfires in your face horribly. I've actually heard that Art Briles might become the coach of Texas Tech.
Great.
For a while, they liked having a turbo hot coach, but it didn't translate into the wins they wanted. Everyone was like, have you seen our coach? He looks like Ryan Gosling. And it's like, yeah, but Ryan Gosling isn't a football coach, and that doesn't make you a good football coach. And,
Cliff Kingsbury. Yeah.
How hard do you think Cliff got laid?
He's literally just 1K away. What's his middle name? What is Cliff Kingsbury? Both spelled with a K. I don't think I've ever seen Cliff spelled with a K as his first name.
Yeah, his parents were like, we're going to send America a message, but we're not going to go all the way. So his initials are just KK.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, again, what's his middle name? We we need to know. We'll do some research to see if we can get that next week. 24,
despite
26.
being good looking, he's a coach in West Texas, so I guess it's not that surprising.
24 and 26 overall record, 13 and 23 in the Big 12 under Kingsbury. Ouch. 13 and 23 in conference. Woof.
They got rid of Mike Leach. That was the dumbest thing that Texas Tech has ever done.
Mad Dog Mike Leach.
Mad Dog Mike Leach. Okay, look. Did he take a booster's son, put him in a hot shed in the middle of the day? Yes. The kid probably deserved it. It's tough love with Mike.
Yeah, and he's tougher for it.
Yeah, I mean, did he sleep with a grad assistant? I've heard that might be true as well. But, hey,
Again,
Major Applewhite did it.
Right. And look
Major
at him.
Applewhite
He's
did it.
being sued. So it all works out.
Yeah.
Really quick, want a new segment we're going to test out on the show. It's the Texas update. We're going to think of a better name. But say what, we wanted something to broaden the scope of our conversations to include all of this, not just University of Texas football, but general happenings in Texas. And it looks like Texas may soon have an official state gun, and that is going to be a cannon. The state
Of
gun
course it
of
is.
Texas is going to be a cannon.
Come and take it. And you know why Come and Take It is so great? Because Santa Ana, which, by the way, the way that, if you're not from Texas, we have a whole year where we just learn Texas history. And most of that year is spent on the Alamo, a battle we lost. But, the whole Mexican army surrounding.
Apparently the Alamo is taught as a
them.
tragedy in other states, which is not how I learned it.
Yeah, it's taught as not only a tragedy, but a resounding defeat. Like, in Mexican history, they actually do teach it, from what I've heard, in that it's just a very minor blip on the radar. Like, oh yeah, that time we just went up and like kicked the shit out of everybody in San Antonio, because that's what happened. But in Texas, it's a big deal, and apparently, by the way, these guys refuse to surrender. So this like army of 10,000 is out there against like an army of like 200 guys, and they were like, hey, surrender, and we'll let you all and your families live. And, just give us that cannon. And then what did the Texans do? They raised a flag that said, come and take it.
Yeah.
And they all died.
Well, me and you have a suicide pact. So, I mean, it's not that crazy,
Come and take it, everyone. We have a suicide pact. We have a suicide pact against all of our haters, which apparently are numerous right now, Marcus.
Growing. Yeah, so we got our first official review on iTunes.
Big day, big moment for every podcast.
Big moment for the podcast, for sure. Big moment for the podcast. Danny, yeah, you wanna talk? You wanna talk a little bit?
Okay, so this review. Yeah, so I saw the little icon come up that said review, and I was over the moon, and so I opened it up, and here's what I read. This is from South 3969. So he's got a sense of humor. And the tagline is need some improvements.
False.
And 2 out of 5 stars. So, hey, not that bad. And then
it could have been worse.
You are not the best. Yeah, you are not the best Longhorn podcast and shouldn't put others down before learning your craft, which your craft is one word. And so I guess South 3969, I hear what you're saying. You're wrong. But in your opinion, it is okay to put others down once you've learned your craft. So I guess we can make fun of the other podcasts when we get better at this.
No, it's true. The implication of the review is that, like, once you figure this stuff out more, by all means, it's open season. But my problem with this is, I'm not a mind reader. Like, I don't know.
No.
I mean, do we need to improve our craft? Sure. Who doesn't, though? And where's the line?
Mm-hmm.
When can we make the drama? I mean, again.
Exactly. When. Yeah.
So.
Where is the line? I think the line was when Marcus and I started, there was a line. And we crossed it day one when we stepped across that line, and we kept going. And look, we're the bad boys of the Longhorn podcasting community. Everyone knows this. We rock up in our Ray-Bans and our leather jackets. They rock up in some dorky ass polo with a Longhorn on it, and some pleated khakis with probably some white sneakers or something, and we're just like these bad boys rolling around and saying, hey, we don't care what you think, and how about you suck our balls?
I mean, I don't know if I wholesale endorse your imagining of us in that encounter, but I mean, like the spirit of it. Yeah, I agree with. In spirit, I agree.
I want to reiterate, Marcus and I, the bad boys of Longhorn podcasting, are rolling around on our motorcycles. And what we say when we show up to other podcasters that have to do with Longhorns, suck our balls, please.
Really double.
And by the way, I heard
double
Aaron Rodgers runs a Longhorn podcast, so
might be in luck. All right.
we might be in luck. What else is going on around Texas, Marcus?
That's it, man. That's all. That's it. We're this much
that's
closer
all.
to finally adopting the cannon as our state gun, which didn't know you had state guns. I guess it's not shocking. I'm actually more surprised that Texas didn't already have a state gun, because I think this is the first one. Also, a cannon is not a gun, right? Like, isn't a cannon like a completely different armament, or is that still considered a gun? I don't know.
Well,
let us know.
You put
Longhorn
gunpowder
Podcast
in it,
Nation.
it explodes, and then the ball flies out. So it
just
just
a big
seems like
gun,
a big,
right?
big old timey gun.
It's just
A very big old
gun.
timey gun. I'm okay with that being our state gun. I thought maybe a 6-shooter might be a bit appropriate, but I think it's in reference to the come and take it. So hey, I'm cool with that. In Texas, apparently, if you get caught picking bluebonnets, you can get a ticket. So I wonder what happens if you get caught stealing cannons.
You get high fives.
You
Nice,
get a high five.
nice
And,
cannon.
take it.
Yeah,
Take it. And if somebody's on your property, light them up.
exactly.
Light them up. That's
yeah.
where.
I need this cannon for my
Did
protection.
you shoot this burglar in the back with a cannon?
It's not
Yes,
called.
sir.
It's not called the Fortress Doctrine, so that I'm not supposed to have a cannon. You know what I mean? Like, it's right there
Yeah.
in the name. So
The Fortress Doctrine is funny because I was playing frisbee with my sister in Texas, and I threw the frisbee and it landed on a neighbor's roof. And I said, "Hey, no big deal. I'll just climb up there and grab it." And then I was like, "Wait a minute. If I'm seen on their roof, they're like they're legally well within their rights to just
murk
assassinate me."
to just murder you. Yeah.
To just set up a scope, and then as I'm like, "Hey, I'm trying to get off," they could just sit there and just riddle me with bullets, like Sonny in The Godfather Part 2, or like Dallas in The Outsiders, and they would just be like, "Nope, you're not going to jail," and he deserved it because
Right.
he was getting that. So now they'll be able to do it with a cannon.
So progress. I mean, that's progress, right?
Man, Texas is a funny place. But it's not funny, Marcus, is that the ESPN Top 25 just came out, and Texas is in the top 25. We are ranked,
Boom.
drum roll,
Yeah.
number 25.
I mean, that's awesome. I think.
I'm going to say generous.
I'm gonna say. I mean, it's obviously totally premature to have rankings for next season, but yeah, I mean, that's great, generous, but hopefully it motivates. Hopefully it motivates. Maybe being unranked would have been more of a motivator. I don't really know, but
Do you remember last season when we beat Notre Dame and we shot up to 7 or something like that?
That was such a fun day. I was at that
I
game.
know.
It was awesome. It was a
I know you
great
were,
game.
and because you bought your fiance tickets to the game, and she said she didn't want to go, and I said, "Are you out of your mind?"
Well, that's a little misleading. It's a complicated story because there were some other things that we were meant to do that weekend, and I kind of surprised her with these tickets. But long story short, we ended up going. We both had an awesome time. Yeah, it was great, and I drank like 10,000 Miller Lights, just doing my part for DKR.
Can you explain or describe the ecstasy you felt when Tyrone Swoops dodged one hit and ran into the end zone?
I can't remember the last time I've screamed like that at a sporting event. Like, like for real. It was a unique feeling. It felt really, really good, and everybody. And I was I was actually on either side. Were Notre Dame fans who were pretty polite the whole game, enjoying. They were into it. They were enjoying the game, pretty polite. Good, I'll say they had pretty good fans. But man, it was just an atmosphere. Hot day.
Yeah.
Hot day, but yeah, it was great.
Well, when we have our press pass that I'm working on for the USC Trojans game, hopefully we'll get to feel the same ecstasy again. But ESPN's argument for us being in the top 25 is that Shane Buechele is back. Our baby boy is back. He's going to be bigger, stronger, and better. We won't have Dante Foreman, but we will have Chris Warren. And we have as many as 10 starters returning on defense. We only really lost. The key losses last year were Dante Foreman, Ja'Cory Warwick, which, Kent Perkins, very good, but we'll fill it. Our tight end and strong safety, Dylan Haynes, which I never thought Dylan Haynes belonged in the starting lineup. So, yeah. Hey, ESPN, I hope we prove you right. I hope we stay in that top 25.
Well, I mean, we've got USC early. We got USC in mid-September, and we'll be at that game. But
Sideline.
so, yeah, one way or another, we're both going to that game. But that'll probably we'll it'll go one way after that one. It'll go up or down in a big way. So we'll see what happens.
The good thing is nobody in the Big 12 is nearly as good as USC. So even if we get our balls stomped, those sucking balls, if we get those stomped, we could do well the rest of the season. USC got stomped by Alabama first game of the season. They finished strong. I feel good about it. One of the last things I want to talk about is that we're making renovations to the stadium because Tom Herman is a man of his word, that he's going to get the best facilities for our players. And what Tom Herman said was, I think you should always have some capital project in football going on all the time. It's kind of like painting the Golden Gate Bridge. As soon as you get done, you have to start over. So, we're painting and he's actually starting up by painting the facilities. What do you think about that, Marcus?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's like I remember watching Star Wars as a kid, and Lando Calrissian, the city in the clouds. Yeah, the city in the clouds, and there was always stuff being repaired. Like in a couple scenes, you just see it's like a technician tinkering, doing something, and you're like, man, that's no matter how good it gets, shit breaks, and you just have to constantly be fixing stuff. So
the Longhorn facilities are they're a city in the sky, and right. Tom Herman went on to say, "We have some issues, but nothing. This is a quote: nothing a multi-million-dollar facelift can't fix. So that's what we're in the process of doing right now." If I didn't know any better, I would have thought Lane Kiffin wrote that, but T. Herman.
Yeah, I mean, I love his sort of message, and it's sort of. We talked about the extra staff he's requested and the recruiting assistance and building programs that are more, the support staff is more like an Alabama or a Michigan that have huge operations and spend a lot of money. And, he's basically like, yeah, we're going to spend a lot. This is going to be really expensive. It's going to be worth it. His tone is like, it'll be worth it, but this is going to cost you just a ton of money. And I think that's awesome because the boosters are going to write the checks. So, let's onwards.
I love Tom Herman's win at any cost mentality to the extent that we're bringing potential sex offenders from Baylor down to Texas. Tom says there's no evidence, so they're on our side now. It does concern me, Marcus. That does concern me.
Well, I want to be clear. This guy was not accused of being a sex offender, but he has very, very, very openly supported Art Briles and I guess has some controversial opinions on the investigation and Art Briles' role in the scandal. So we'll see. I'll be interested to see if we comment on this. All right. Well, listen. Great show, Danny. Always a pleasure.
Oh God, the bad boys. The bad boys are back.
Oh man. Well, let's hone our craft. Let's keep honing our craft.
Let's keep honing our craft. And look, Marcus, you know that I'm a mature man. Okay, I am a bad boy of Longhorn football, but I am a very mature man, and I don't hold grudges, except in this scenario.
Right.
So South 3969 gave us the 2 stars. I will not stop my reign of terror on you and those you love until that 2-star goes to a 5-star. Okay.
And I want to say to South 3969, really appreciate you listening. Thank you for taking the time to share your thoughts with us. That was really cool. Thank you.
Which I will finish with, even though you are now being hunted down by the Longhorn podcast.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair. All right, cool.
We're just kidding. Thank you. Okay. All right. All right, Marcus. Good talk. Let's talk next week.
Longhorn Podcast.
End zone ahead, folks. Touchdown, Longhorns.
With Danny. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. And Marcus. Does somebody know the number for Pluckers? Released once a week, every Tuesday. Much better than all those other Longhorn podcasts. You are listening to the Longhorn Podcast. To the Longhorn Podcast.